I've been talking about spiritual gifts here lately, and I'm going to offer you a perspective that I think will be beneficial for the women when it comes to them having gifts and callings against one of the most debated scriptures, which is 1 Corinthians 14:34. But 1 Corinthians 13:9 says that we, the church, know in part, meaning we have knowledge, but it's in part, and we prophesy in part. So what this is saying is that our knowledge and our understanding and our prophetic utterance concerning things of God is limited. And it's also telling us that our understanding can also evolve with knowledge in the scriptures, biblical knowledge. So let me give you some biblical knowledge that you have to consider when we are talking about if women are able to have gifts and callings in the church. Miriam, she was a prophetess and a leader of God's people. You can find this in Exodus 15:20 and Micah 6:4, which actually talks about her being a leader. Let me read that to you. For I brought thee up out of the land of Egypt, this is God speaking, and redeemed you out of the house of servants, or the house of bondage, the house of slavery. And I, God, sent, who did God send? Before thee, Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. Deborah, she was a judge of Israel, a prophetess, and a military leader. You can find her in Judges chapter 4, verses 4 through 5. Huldah, she was a prophetess, and she was an advisor to the high priest and the king. Okay, you can find her in 2 Kings 22:14. Anna, she was a prophetess in the temple. You can find her in Luke 2:36 through 38. Philip's 4 daughters, prophetess, right? That's who they were in the early church. Acts 21:8 and 9. Phoebe, she was a deacon, okay? Romans 16:1 and 2. Priscilla and her husband was Aquila, teacher and house church leader. Acts 18:26, Romans 16:3. Noadiah, never heard of her before until I started studying this more. She was a prophetess in Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 14. There is no way that we can say that women do not have gifts and callings. Daughters have gifts, daughters have callings, daughters can have leadership roles. But I think it's safe to say that what Paul mentioned in 1 Corinthians chapter 14 about women keeping silent in the church has context, and that context is not widely understood.